Hi, this is Suchi and I am back with another video in this NumPy series. So today we are going to talk about transpose method in NumPy. So let's first import the NumPy package and give it a small or short name np. So I am running this cell import NumPy as np, and now I am going to be able to access all the methods and classes in the NumPy with the help of this short name np. So we are done. Let's go to the transpose method. And what is a transpose method? Transpose method will help us to reverse or permute the access of an array. What are the accesses? What are the access in a NumPy array? So in the array, we have been discussing about dimensions. So dimensions can be represented with the help of access. Simply, here for example, you can see in this picture, in a NumPy array, you can see if we consider only this part. So J and K axis are representing this part. So along the K axis, there are 1, 2, 3, 3 elements. And along the J axis, there are 1, 2, 3 elements. Now, so this is the J axis. This is the J axis. This is the K axis, right? So along the K axis, we have 1, 2, and 3 elements. That means this entire thing is one element along the K axis. And then this entire thing is another element, and this entire thing is another element along the K axis. Now along the J axis, which are the 3 elements? This is one. Just let me change the color so that you will understand that it is a different thing. So this is one element along the J axis. This is another, and this is another. So these are the two axes. That means this part, this entire thing is a two-dimensional array. Now, if we want multiple objects like this entire thing, that means this entire thing, which is a 3 by 3 array. If we want multiple such objects, as you can see over here at the back of it, this is another and this is another. So when we want that, that is the time where we need the help of another axis, which is this one, I axis. So similarly, if we want another axis, if we want multiple objects like this entire thing, then we will be needing again another axis, and so on. So the number of dimension is the number of axes. Now number of elements in each axis will be provided by the shape of the ndarray, right? So if we want to know the shape of this ndarray, this will be 3, 3, 3, a tuple of elements, and in each axis we are having only 3 elements, so this will be 3, 3, 3. Now we sometimes need a way to define to interchange or reverse the values of each axis, or reverse the number of elements in each axis. So how we can do that? We can easily do that with the help of transpose method. So let us have a look into this transpose method. So let's talk about a two-dimensional array. So if we have a two-dimensional array, let's say we can also create a two-dimensional array with the help of np arrange method. as we have already learned earlier. So if I say np a range, and what is the range? We want to have a two-dimensional array. So I'm just putting the elements from 1 to 6 here, because 7 will be excluded. This is the upper limit. And then I am just reshaping it with the help of a tuple. And if I want it to be two-dimensional, so I have to provide the value for two axes. So as I am providing 6 elements, so I am just providing 3 by 2, or let's say 2 by 3. Okay, 2 by 3. So there will be 2 rows and 3 columns. So let me just comment out this part and let us look into the array that we have created. So this is the array we have created: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 2 rows. First row is including 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, and second row is including 3 elements, 4, 5, 6. So the first axis, or first dimension, is having 2 elements, that is this one and this one. And then the second axis is having 3 elements. So which are the 3 elements? This is one. Just let us print it. Okay. So this is one element. Let me just mark it. This is one element. In the other axis, this is another element. Let me just zoom into it. Okay. So you can see this is one element. One 4 is one element. Okay. Then 2 5 is another element, and 3 6 is another element. Okay. So 1 2 3. And if we want to transpose it, the only option is what? The shape can be reversed. So now it is 2 3, it can be 3 2. So how we can do that? If we just use a transpose method on this ARR2D, this is the 2D array ARR2D. So if we just call the transpose method on this, what will happen is we will be getting an array with a shape 3 2. So the shape will be reversed. Let me just run this cell, and here we can see there is a shape 3 2. And if we see the arrangement of the elements, 1 2 3 was in the row. This was the row 1 2 3, and this is becoming a column over here. And then 4 5 6 was another row, and it is becoming the column over here, 4 5 6. And 1 4 was a column, it has become a row. 2 5 was another column, it has become another row. And 3 6 was another column, and it has also become another row. So this is how we can transpose a 2D array. It will just interchange the axis. So first axis was having two elements. Now the first axis is having three elements. And the second axis was having three elements, and now it is having two elements. And if we consider this shape, the index number 0 is the first axis, index number 1 is the second axis. Now let us look into the three-dimensional array. So let us create a three-dimensional array first. So it was quite easy and intuitive in the two-dimensional array. Just rows becomes column and columns becomes row. Now we will talk about a three-dimensional array. So first let's create a three-dimensional array. So I'll just run this cell, and you can see there is a three-dimensional array with us, which is having the elements 1 2 24, and the shape is 2 3 4 as we have reshaped it with 2, 3, 4. So here you can see 2, 3, 4. This is the array we have created. So why 2, 3, 4? Because this is the first dimension, or this is the first axis, and there we are having 1, 2, two elements. And along the second axis, we are having 1, 2, 3 elements. And in the third axis, we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 elements. So this is how the shape is determined over here. So at the axis number 0, axis number 1, axis number 2, we are having 2, 3, 4 elements. Okay, accordingly. Now we are going to transpose this. So if we call transpose on this, the shape will be reversed. As we have seen in the 2D array, the shape was getting reversed. It was 2, 3, it was becoming 3, 2. Now the same thing will happen to the 3D array. So we are having 2, 3, 4. The shape will become 4, 3, 2. So let's run this part so that we will understand it better. So now we have run this, and you can see the shape has become 4, 3, 2. And as you can see, earlier it was 3, 2, 4. It has been reversed only. So you can see this was the shape, that now it has become like this. So 2, 3, 4, here you can see it has been reversed. Okay. Now, what does that mean? How the elements are arranged now? Let us have a look into the elements now. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So here you can see 159 is a column, and it has come in the first element 1, 5. So this is the first element. Here you can see this is the first element. So this one is the first element, right? Now, if we just consider this element, we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. And these 4 columns will be distributed into 4 elements in the first dimension, because this is the third dimension actually, but this will become the first dimension. That is why 159 is coming here, and then 2, 6, 10 is coming here, and then 3, 7, 11 is coming in the third element, and 4, 8, 12 is coming in the fourth element. So this is how this entire object is contributing to each element of the first dimension. Then the same thing will happen with this entire object. So it is becoming 13, 17, 21. This is the first element. This is going into the first element. Then this part is going into the second element. This part is going into the third element here. And again, this part is going into the fourth element. So this is how the axis 2 is becoming axis 0. And similarly, if we look at this, you can see here that the second dimension, that is the axis 2, is again 3, because we are having 3 elements in each element, 1, 2, 3. And in the last axis, we are having only 2 elements. So 1, 2, 2 columns. So this is how this, if we look at the shape, the axis 1 is remaining same, but the axis 2 and the axis 0 are changing, because we are just reversing this order. Now, if we don't want it in the reverse order, just in the reverse order, but we want to permute the axis values. So how we can do that? In the transpose method, we can pass one parameter, which is a tuple, and that tuple is nothing but the permutation of the axis. So what we can do is, if we want this array to be 3, 4, 2, we want this to be the first one, and then this, and then this one. So if we just add the if we just write the access number here, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So if we want to permute these access numbers, and if we want this to be 3, the dimension to be 3, 4, 2. So if we want this shape, then what we need to do is we just need to permute the access. So 3 is at 1 index, so we have to provide 1, comma 4 is at index 2, and then comes the 2 that is at the 0th index. So if we provide this value, it is by default, if we call transpose, by default it will do this 2, 1, 0. That is nothing but the reverse order. But if we want it in this way, 1, 2, 0, then we can provide this parameter in the transpose method. So let me just show you how it works. So here is our, I'll just comment out this part, and here is our array. The same array we have been using in the previous example. So this is our array, and now what we need to do, we want to change the number of elements in the different axes. But how we want to specify that the way we want the output. So here we want to do it in the 1, 2, 0 order. That means 3, 4, 2. We want an array, an output which will have this shape 3, 4, 2. So we have to specify the axis number which we want to be at the first dimension, then specify the second axis, then specify the third axis. Now here we can see I have provided 1, 2, 0, and it will give us an array of a shape 3, 4, 2. So let's run this part and we will see. So this is our array, three-dimensional array, and we have permuted the access values as 1, 2, 0, that is 3, 4, 2. So let us see if we have got that. Yes, so we have got a 3, 4, 2. How? Because in the first axis we are having 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, 3 elements. In the second axis we are having 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the second axis we are having 4 elements, and in the third axis we are having 2 elements, 1, 2. Here also you can see 1, 2. So this is how we can easily permute the access of the ND array. Or we can reverse. If we do not pass any parameter over here, then it will just reverse the shape. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Keep learning, keep implementing. See you in the next video.